Gemini, welcome. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. The first thing that I got off of this, Gemini, is this is the typical question that most people ask themselves after coming out of a dark night of the soul and choosing to take a more spiritual path. It is, what is my purpose then? And I feel like a lot of you are going to be asking yourselves that right now. You may be coming out of this dark night. Skeleton is asking you to have strength when dealing with things like guilt and embarrassment and shame. You know, again, where the dark night comes in. But Supernatural is talking about the abilities that you have and needing to kind of hone in on that. And Mystery is talking about, or mysticism is talking about needing to pay attention to the signs that are around you. There is nothing that you really need to do right now. You need to just trust that maybe you're not sure or don't know what you're supposed to do, but that it will be shown to you. But this to me screams dark night of the soul, coming out of it and then wondering what your purpose is, especially if you're taking a more spiritual path right now. But I was excited to get to that when I seen those cards fall out. But all about trusting the intuition, right? You know, like you know. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's going through this, but I got a feeling with those cards falling out for you, I bet there are a lot of Geminis that every time they look at the clock, there's just these repeating numbers. It just seems to be constant. You're overall the Nine of Swords. Well, you know, speaking of the Dark Knight, right? So this is, you know, your fears and anxieties and the things that you may be thinking about that are making you feel horrible, keeping you up at night, right? It's typical. It's typical that it happens at that time. It's like as soon as you lay down and want to go to sleep, your mind just keeps running through all of the things that make you feel bad, the things that you regret, the things that you wish you would have done differently. But when something like this shows up as an overall, I look at it as a catalyst for the change that may be going on around you. So in the past, the Eight of Wands, so communication, yes, but this is quick movement. And for me, when I see this, a lot of times it suggests that things are just kind of falling into place. But because of the Nine of Swords, I have to wonder if something didn't happen that kind of threw things all over the place for you where, you know, you thought it was going in a certain direction. But this coming through from the past is saying that, you know, there may be an opportunity to get things back on track. But you may have thoughts that you just can't get away from, whether it's, you know, your own thoughts, the things that you're internalizing, or things that may have been projected onto you. In the present, the Ace of Swords, beautiful, so clarity, right? New ideas, seeing truth, speaking truth, knowing the truth. And new inspiration at that, too. But, you know, this may also be you getting clarity as to why things went in the direction that they did. But either way, I feel like this is a good thing right now. Future conditions, the Knight of Cups. With the Nine of Swords, you know, I wonder if this isn't somebody coming through to offer an apology and you know, it's not necessarily wanting to make things right though, and that's my thing, right? So the Knight of Cups, his action is dictated by the emotions and wanting to like share that or offer that. As somebody who follows their heart, you know, so typically it's the loving messages that come through or loving actions. But because you're the Nine of Swords, I feel like this is outside of you that may be coming through. Because it almost feels like this is some kind of closure that you need or explanation that you need. because it's almost like whatever is going on, it threw you off course, is what I feel like. But it may be that somebody is wanting to get things back on track with you, and this is where this communication is coming through. But the only thing you want to see is truth. Truth and clarity. The truth needs to be spoken. Your best path to follow, the Ace of Wands, is if there is an opportunity for passion to be reignited for you, it may be something that you want to consider. And, you know, I look at these and I think if we're talking about a new start for you and you kind of getting away from all the negative thoughts that you're still carrying over past situations, this may be a new idea for you coming through, new kind of clarity, and it leads to this new creative opportunity though too, and then this is an opportunity for you to kind of follow your heart. You know, and if that's what we're talking about here, the Nine of Swords would indicate that, you know, you may be looking at your own abilities and going, you know, what worth or purpose do I have? Don't do that to yourself. And again, right, it kind of goes back to that question of, well, what is my purpose? If you quiet your mind, right, those messages will come into you. It reminds me of the idea that we are all channels. There's not a one of us that is disconnected from the mind of Source, God, the universe, however you want to call it. But it may be hard for that information to come into you right now. But I'm seeing a much better new beginning here. Trust may be restored and offer an opportunity for passion to be reignited, right? Oh yeah. In your environment, the Page of Swords, you know, here's the thing. The Page of Swords typically does not show exciting or emotional communication. It always seems to be difficult. And the reason why is because you're talking about immaturity. This is someone who is driven by new thoughts, new communications, new ideas, things like that, right? But when you're getting messages from the Page of Swords, it's like they're not seeing the full picture or telling the full story. And this may be the opportunity here to kind of clear up things that may have been missaid. Or there may be things that you didn't exactly want to hear that need to be cleared up as well. Your hopes and your fears, the Star, right? Healing, having hope return. I don't want to say like it's obvious, right, that you may be hoping that things can be better in a situation, and I say that again because of the Nine of Swords, but I feel more like it's you hoping things are going to be better for you. That like you're going to be guided or directed to do, you know, what is going to bring you some emotional balance and like just cleansing this garbage off of you. But this is a major turning point for you where things absolutely can get better. And there is the ability to heal the mind, obviously. But I don't know, if you're dealing with a person, what I feel like here is that you may be seeing an apology coming through. But I feel like it's because of the way that, you know, the story was told, that it kind of threw things off course. And then coming out, the Emperor, so control, right? I almost feel like the only way that things, I think, are going to be better for you is if you are in control of what is going on. And if somebody is coming to you wanting to offer a reconnection or an apology here with the Knight of Cups. You coming out as the Emperor is kind of being in a place of, he's all the kings, right? So understanding how you feel, knowing what you think, knowing how to act on that to produce in your outer world, right? You're going through all of, the mastery of the suits here through the Emperor. And then the other thing though too, because of the Nine of Swords, is I want to say to you, don't allow somebody else to have control over how you feel like things should be going for you. Okay. So, if we're talking about you being in this place of control here, first of all, with the Six of Wands, we're talking about victory, right? And recognition for the actions that you've taken. And there's, what I feel like here is there's almost this recognition that you had the right intentions. You had, the right plans in place. You were taking the right actions. And it's like there's almost an acknowledgement of that now. And you're kind of like, I'm done with the story. Like, I need a break from this. I need a break from this being my narrative right now. And then with the Four of Wands, new stability, and celebrating that new stability in your life. And it may be, having better stability with a relationship with someone who may not have exactly been telling the truth, or, has been spinning the story to fit their own narrative. I can't help but feel that way, but here it's truth, right? Assurance. This very specifically is, the universe giving you the assurance that you need that everything's going to be okay, right? I am telling you, Gemini. This, I really feel like the overall message here is going to be for those of you who are taking that spiritual path right now. And it's almost like the universe is like, just hang on, we'll show you what it is. Don't worry, right? And I can't. Of course psychic knowing would come out, right? Like you know. It very much is like, you have this situation going on, yes, but there's something much more deeper and much more spiritual happening for a lot of you. And it just reeks of the High Priestess. It's like you know, but you don't have any proof to back it up, but your intuition is telling you, and that's all you need to know. Your hard work is paying off. Beautiful. And then a fiery climax approaches. And we just had the full moon in Aries, didn't we? So yeah, and I'm looking at this Ace of Wands. And it kind of reminds me of a message that I heard from Bashar once. When you follow your bliss, no matter what that looks like, as long as you're doing what makes you feel good, that's where the door opens and the universe kind of comes in and is like, here, Gemini, here you go. This is your path. All you have to do is watch for the signs.